Hello, hello. Happy Monday morning, everyone. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So y'all know I like to dive right in. The first thing I want to talk to y'all about this morning is the Extraordinary Ability Green Card, otherwise known as the EB-1 Green Card. USCIS has recently made some changes to its policy manual regarding the evidence that it will accept for the EB-1 green card applications. Now, why is this important, you ask? It is important because the policy manual is what the adjudicators within the agency use when they are evaluating and adjudicating the applications that we send in. So what goes into the policy manual is very, very important. So in terms of the evidence, they have updated the policy manual to consider the following types of evidence. They will consider a person's receipt of team awards, so not just an award that they received on their own, but awards that they received as part of a team. They will accept that and evaluate it under the criteria for lesser national and international, nationally recognized awards or prizes within the field of endeavor. So that is great. So if your person was part of a team, the entire team won an award, that counts now, that they will look at that as part of the evidence. They've also said that past membership in organizations will qualify under the membership criteria. So previously we were getting some pushback about whether or not previous membership in organizations was kind of okay for an EB-1 Extraordinary Ability application. Now the policy guidance is such that it is probative if they were a member of an organization and they may not be a current member. So we want to keep that in mind. It also removes languages suggesting that any published material must demonstrate and show the value of the person's work and contributions to satisfy that particular criteria of having work published. So now we no longer sort of have to go into these very long explanations of why this published work specifically shows how this person has advanced the endeavor or the industry or the field. So they have removed that language that the publication itself must demonstrate the value of someone's work within their field. So I wanted to bring those to your attention. I have many conversations with people about the Extraordinary Ability Green Card. And so when we're talking about, whether or not they qualify, these are some things that we want to take into consideration when we are looking at the evidence and the documentation that they can bring to the table that we can physically file with the application. The next thing I want to talk about this morning is the Diversity Visa Lottery. It is open. So the Diversity Visa Lottery happens every single year, and it is a way for countries that do not have a lot of green card applications in the pipeline to have an opportunity to apply within this lot, to enter the lottery, get chosen in the lottery, and then apply for green cards for themselves and for their immediate family members. So the Diversity Visa Lottery opened October 2nd and will close November 5th. I always say this when it comes to technology. Please do not wait until November 5th to do your entrance into the lottery. Technology is what it is. There are always glitches. So please enter earlier, sooner rather than later, if you are interested in the Diversity Visa Lottery. So to that point, the Diversity Visa Lottery is not open to all countries. So it's very important that you check the Department of State website. And if you need that website address, you're more than welcome to send me a DM. I'm happy to send that to you and And then you'll have that. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that you apply using the official Department of State website. When the diversity visa lottery opens, a whole bunch of scammers come out of the woodwork. Do not listen to them, completely ignore them. This is something that you can do on the Department of State website. There is no government filing fee. So if someone tells you that they need you to pay them so that they can then pay the government to enter you into the lottery, they are lying and it's a scam. There is no government filing fee associated with the diversity visa lottery to enter yourself into the lottery. You want to make sure that you complete your entry online and that you answer all the questions truthfully. So keep that in mind, but you have until November 5th if you want to enter yourself into the diversity visa lottery. And this would be for fiscal year 2026. So good luck to everyone that enters. Next thing I want to talk about is if your physical green card has expired, not if your lawful permanent resident status has expired, but just if your physical green card has expired and you filed the I-90, you want a new one. The Immigration Service understands that they are processing these very slowly. So previously, your receipt notice would extend your physical card for 24 months. It now will extend it for 36 months in order to help them sort of get over this hump of their own internal backlog. But it also helps you as the green card holder to show that you are in the country lawfully, to show that you have lawful permanent residence. It helps you get your driver's license at your local DMV office, and it also helps you apply for new positions, and you can show the new employer or the potential new employer that you are here in the country lawfully and have work authorization. So this automatic extension of 36 months is very, very helpful sort of in your everyday life. So just keep that in mind as well. The next thing I want to mention, Chell, are non-immigrant dependent spouses. So the question that I always get from my individuals is, can my spouse work? What happens with my spouse? So spouses of E2s and L1s are automatically given work authorization, what we call incident to status. So when they enter the US and they're stamped in properly by CBP, if they are stamped in as an E2 spouse or an L1 spouse, they automatically have work authorization. They do not have to apply for a separate EAD in order to show that they have work authorization. And this is really important to know because so many what we call trailing spouses, they are professionals at home. They have their own jobs, they have their own careers. And previously when they would come to the US, their careers were stalled while the principal applicant was able to advance their own career. So this automatic work authorization allows the trailing spouse to come to the U.S. With their principal spouse and continue to work in their profession. Their work authorization is not limited to one employer, so they can really go out and look for employment that will further their career with any employer they wish. So that is super important to know about the spouses of L1s and E2 visa holders. And then I wanted to sort of end this morning's conversation with you all with another hiring myth. That when you're hiring immigrants, there are a lot of myths out there. So I wanted to kind of tackle some of these myths. The one that we're going to tackle this morning is that oftentimes when an employer comes to me and has a potential employee that they would like to hire, that employer-employee pair oftentimes will qualify for more than one visa category. So we look to see what is going to be the best visa category for them right now in the short term in order to get that person on board and working and on payroll and a productive member of this particular company. But in my firm, we also look ahead and look at what's the visa category that not only is going to help them get on board and working today, but in a couple of years, if the employer comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to sponsor this person for a green card," so I always look at what's going to help them today, but what visa category may set them up in the future to have a more immediate or more direct or maybe an easier path to green card, especially if there are more than one temporary or non-immigrant options available. So that is something that my firm does as a general course. That is just what we do. We try to look at our clients' needs today, but we also try to anticipate what they may need tomorrow and the next couple of years, and really try to set them on a path, on a very clear path to that. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not, but it's definitely always something that we look at. So really the myth is that there's only going to be one visa category that works for any particular employer-employee pair, and that is just simply not always the case. So if you have any questions about hiring someone that is not a U.S. citizen, or whether or not maybe you've hired someone and you're wondering whether or not their trailing spouse has work authorization or is eligible for work authorization, feel free to reach out to our office. We're more than happy to help with those issues and help you. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. This has been another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week.